Welcome back, watchers, listeners, for another spooktacular episode of What We Watch.
Dun dun.
Dun dun dun. This week, we watched Scream.
Mm-hmm.
A classic, one might say. But before we get into that, I'm your co-host, Natalie Brinkerhoff, and I'm joined with...
Garrett Christopherson.
I don't know what side he's going to be on. Garrett Christopherson, and we are just so happy that you're joining us today on this lovely October evening. I hope that you, or maybe it's the morning, who knows? But we hope you've been having a great spooky season, and we
I know we have.
I know we have, because I've watched 2 more scary movies than I have in the last 3 years, probably. So, unless you count, like, The Sixth Sense. I watch that pretty frequently, so. But, yes, we are so happy that you're with us today to talk about Natalie, as in me. I don't know why I just said it in third person. My pick of Scream.
Yay.
Clapping! And if you listen to Weapons, we just finished recording that. If you listen to Weapons, we hope that you enjoyed it. But I'm excited for this episode because I actually enjoyed this movie.
I have so much. I read so many behind the scenes things about this movie. I am very ready to talk about Scream.
Are we locked in right now, Garrett?
We are locked in.
I'm so glad you have some fun facts. Again, just want to preface, in case you didn't listen to Weapons, we are just trying a new format. We're not really going to be ranking things by category these episodes, so we're just going to kind of have a conversation, see where the chatting takes us, and then we'll do our popcorn rating at the very end. So we'll give you our like actual final scoring, what we thought, but we're just going to kind of chat and talk about what we want to talk about. So let us know if you like this format, if you like our old format better, and we will kind of see what our audience prefers. But just wanted to give that heads up before we get into it. But Garrett, well, let me start with the kind of overall what this movie is about.
Do we want to do what we've watched before we started?
Yes. Please, go ahead, Garrett. Start us off.
Sweet. So, recently I watched, for whatever reason, I've been really wanting to rewatch Avatar 2 because I hadn't seen it in a very, very long time. I think I'm a bigger Avatar fan than I kind of want to be. Like, not that I
don't know why that just took me out.
Avatar is a franchise that it's weird because within the film community, like, it's both admired but also dunked on a lot because the story of Avatar is like, at least I think my dad kind of put it best. He was like, these are the biggest movies ever made. They make the most money. Can you name me a single character besides Jake Sully? And then I'm always like, huh. Like sometimes I'm like, oh, Natiri. Zoe Saldana's character, but besides that,
But do you think that that's...
name another character.
But do you think that that's because they're hard to pronounce? Like, I remember the kids.
Well, look at something like...
The villain.
Look at something like... Look at Lord of the Rings. Those names are super hard to pronounce. Like, as a kid trying to say Boromir or Aragorn or Legolas or Gimli, like, those are not as, like... that's just as hard to pronounce than any of the Avatar names.
I wouldn't be able to tell you those either.
Exactly. But that's what I'm saying is, like, nobody really is. Like, Avatar has its fans, but, like, Lord of the Rings as, like, diehard fans, like, even general audiences, for the most part, really, really love Lord of the Rings. General audiences love Avatar. Critics, for the most part, like the effects and stuff of Avatar. But, like, nobody is like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to see what happens to Spider, the human child, in the next movie. Side note, I hate Spider. I hate Spider with a burning passion. He might be one of my least favorite characters of all time.
Of all time?
I hate that kid. I hate that kid.
Garrett.
But all that being said,
that's crazy.
All that being said, I really, really like Avatar 2.
I hate that kid, but I love the movies.
Spider sucks. I hope Spider dies, but he's not going to. He's probably going to be more important in the next movies. But anyways,
Get over it.
I
It'll be
know.
fine. Maybe
But
he'll get better. Maybe he'll turn it around and he'll be your favorite character.
yeah, but yeah. So I watched Avatar. Avatar's good. Really love Way of Water. It's I was talking to one of my friends who was like, "What? You like the first or the second one better than the first one?" I was like,
Oh,
"Yeah." And
the
he's
second
like,
one is
"But
so good.
like he was saying the first one has a lot more of a concrete story, whereas the second one is a lot of, oh, we're going to explore the water tribe and just get to know these characters
Yeah,
and
but that's
stuff like that.
part of why Avatar is so cool is the world building of it all.
Exactly.
Like
Like
I
that's
want
why
to freaking
I
live there. I want to live
exactly.
on Pandora.
And the first movie, the story is like it's good, but it's like it's kind of just Dances with Wolves but with blue people or like other like we've seen that type of story a lot.
Yeah, it's not
Whereas the
unique.
second one it gets a lot more original of watch this kid connect with this whale. It's like that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like watch this water tribe that has their own sign language because they
Hmm.
hold their breath for long and have to communicate underwater. It's sick. I love those
Hmm.
movies.
And the effects are just like does not need to be said. Just some of the
Just
greatest,
insane.
just probably the greatest effects in any movie ever.
Well, okay, and can we talk about going from Avatar 1 to Avatar 2? Like
Hmm.
even cuz you watch Avatar the first one and you go, "Dang, like this is impressive. Like this is wild." And then you turn on the second one and you're like, "How is this like leagues ahead of
Hmm.
well, probably because there were
10
like
years.
10
Yeah.
years between the two." But like seriously, you don't think it can get better and then you watch the second one and you're like, "Dang, it got better and by miles."
Which
But
leads me
like
to say
the
one of
first
the
one isn't
reasons.
bad.
Yeah, the first one still looks, compared to Nana
Fire.
movies,
Yeah.
fantastic. But leads me to say, I think one of the reasons why I don't like Spider, why I hate Spider, is because I think him as a character, I think James Cameron came up with the idea of, oh, I want to put a normal human in the story a lot, so you see how good the effects are, and then was like, but how do I implement him in the story? Like I think Spider came from a place
You
of
really think that
let's
that's
show
where it
how
came
good,
from?
1,000%, not a doubt in
I
my
mean,
mind.
okay. Cool. I would have never thought of that, but
Because like most people like James Cameron,
I
he
guess
likes
in the
these
second one,
characters,
the
but
only, like, he really is the only human character,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
And like there's others, but he's like the main human character.
Yeah.
And like people, a lot of film nerds and James Cameron himself to some degree kind of like they're in it more for the technology than they kind of are for the story. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that's why Spider was anyways, but really good movie. I made it
I'm
sound
so
like I
excited for
didn't like
Fire
it
and
very
Ash.
much, but oh, I'm so excited now. I am very excited.
I need to rewatch those. My family is a house divided on Avatar, because,
Really.
like, Jackson here, our producer, hates it. Well, I don't think any of them have given it a chance. They love the freaking Disney World like land, like Avatar, the
Hmm.
Pandora at Disney World, and they love Flight of Passage. And we're all screaming Siva Ko, like they all eat it up when we're there. And then me and Brady and Reese like love the movies. Like
Hmm.
we eat it up. And then they're like, "I'm not watching that." We're like,
Hmm.
"What the frick?" It makes the world better if you like it, if you watch the movie. Anyways, Jackson's mad because he said, "Are we
Jackson's
talking
mad.
Avatar or Scream?" He's just
Um.
mad he got called out. But
Yeah.
okay, what I was watching, I'm so glad you watched Avatar and enjoyed it. But what I've been watching, cuz again, fall vibes, is Gilmore Girls. If you watch it, then great. It's just a classic rewatch of the season. Okay, we've
Hmm.
been talking too much about what we've been watching. Let's get into the movie. Okay, so the storyline of Scream, if you haven't seen it, which neither me or Garrett had,
Hmm.
so very fun for us. First watch. Is Did you want to say
No,
something?
no, I'll save it for after you do the opening.
Okay. In the small town of Woodsboro, California, high school student Casey Becker is home alone when she receives a phone call from an unknown person. They discuss horror. I don't know what this is from, but they discuss horror films until the caller turns sadistic, threatening her life and revealing that her boyfriend, Steven Orth, is tied up on her patio. That is not the storyline, but that's the beginning scene.
Was that Chat Jippet or was that Google?
No, that was Google.
What the heck?
Well, you know what? We can talk about the story as we go along.
Here, I have one on IMDb that I think does a better job, and it's
thanks.
very small. A teen girl reeling from the murder of her mother is targeted by a mass killer obsessed with horror movies. I think combine those
Perfect.
two synopsises and you have
So,
Scream.
so mine explained to the opening scene. Garrett's explained to the movie. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, what were you gonna say though? What was your thought?
I was going to say, just to preface, I haven't seen this movie. I did know who the killers were before going into the movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
I personally knew of one killer. So
Was it
I still got a
Shaggy
little
or-
twist. I still
Yeah.
got a little twist, which I was so happy about.
Did
I
you
knew
know
it was the boyfriend.
Shaggy or the boyfriend? Okay.
The boyfriend, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because I had seen, if you know, you know, I had seen all the pictures of him, like, licking his fingers with, like, the blood all over him. And I was
Because
like,
he's hot.
because people be down bad for the murderer. And so I knew, like, when he died, I was like, he ain't dead. But then I was still, like, I was questioning myself. I was like, maybe that isn't part of the movie. Like, am I wrong? Like, I was so confused.
Yeah.
But I was like, from the beginning, I was like, I'm pretty sure he's one of the killers. But
Yeah.
the Shaggy part was sick.
Mm-hmm.
I was
And-
like, dang, okay.
Here, what are your overall thoughts as we jump in of Scream?
My overall thoughts of Scream were,
Just introductory thoughts, I guess.
okay, introductory thoughts. I had seen the opening scene before, and that's all I really knew about it other than the picture of what's his face looking hot with the blood. That's all I knew about this movie. And I was most pleasantly surprised. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was so fun. I liked that because I didn't think that maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm confused about scary movies. I liked this scary. I didn't think it was that scary. Is it supposed to be scary? The
That's
scariest part is the Drew Barrymore scene.
Yeah. And I think that's where horror movies are a little confusing because while we disagreed a lot on weapons, I think we will agree that a lot of our favorite horror movies or a lot of scary movies we enjoy are also kind of funny.
Yes.
And this and Weapons are very much like horror comedies.
Yeah.
where
Well, because
it's not like-
it makes fun of horror movies, right?
Exactly.
Like that's part of the whole thing.
And it's not
But-
not when people say horror comedy, I think a lot of people think like, oh, like scary movie. That's not
Yeah,
what a
but
horror
no.
comedy is. It's
Yeah.
horror first, comedy second.
Yeah, not making fun, not parody.
Exactly, not a parody. Exactly.
Okay, so, but yes, I did feel like it was kind of funny. Whenever Ghostface was like running around with his little hunchback, I was out every single time. I watched it with my cousin Brooklyn, who like loves this movie and loves scary movies in general, and then my cousin Madison and my cousin Savannah, and because they were like, you have to watch it with us, and I was like, okay, fine. So I watched it with them, and every single time Ghostface came on, I was just cracking up. Like I thought it was so funny. But then the opening scene is scary though. Like I remember
Yeah.
the first time I watched it, I think I watched it on my phone, probably on like a TikTok or a reel, and it came up and I was like, dude, that movie looks so scary. And then I watched it and I was like, oh wait, it's not that bad.
I feel like
Just intense at times.
I watched this movie by myself last night, and there was
Not
never
me.
a moment where I was like terrified, and I was like,
No.
just. It wasn't until I was walking to my room in the dead of night in complete darkness where I was a little like, if I saw Ghostface run across the hall, I would be pooping my pants right now.
No, actually that's
so
so
it did
funny.
give me a little bit
First-
of the heebie-jeebies.
First of all, that's so funny that you say that because after the movie, I came upstairs from my aunt and uncle's basement, and I said I wasn't even scared. And then I was like, okay, see you guys. And I walk outside in the dark to my car, and I'm like, wait, am I a little scared? So that's first
Oh,
funny that we had very similar experiences.
yeah.
And second, it's funny that we both watched scary movies alone in our beds last night on our computers. Because I watched Weapons last night. So just
Mhm.
that's funny in my brain. But,
We just
anyways,
flipped. Huh.
oh,
We just
hit the
flipped.
mic. Yeah, anyways, so funny. But yeah, any other thoughts overall before we continue?
Yeah. I really, really like this movie a lot. I mean, Scream's one of the biggest horror franchises of all time, if not the biggest horror franchise of all time. Like the Ghostface costume, one of the
Yeah,
trivia things I was reading is like the most sold costume for Halloween ever.
yeah,
Um, so I think this was it lived up to the hype.
yeah.
I didn't expect it to be as funny as it was. Like I knew it was kind of like a horror comedy, but like Stu as a character,
So funny.
so
So
funny.
good.
Like him, which I was reading. I, I'll just I bre- I read a lot of backstory behind the
I
scenes
love it.
stuff, but
Share your knowledge, Garrett.
so
What
the
did you
writer of the
learn?
movie, Kevin Williamson, I think is his name. He was he to quote him, he says that he thought Stu was like the least written character of the movie. He was like, I probably should have given him more attention,
Mm-hmm.
and he credits Matthew Lillard, aka Shaggy Rogers. He credits Matthew Lillard's performance as like that's why Stu as a character works, not because of what
Yeah,
I wrote, but because of how he
his
performs.
performance. Yeah,
Because he not only is he like this is a murderer psychopath, like he's insane,
yeah,
but he's just funny. Like the whole like
yeah.
my mom and dad are gonna be
Are gonna be
so
so
mad at
mad
me.
at me.
That is an ad lib line, and it's so funny. But
So
like
good.
he's both hilarious, but also like this guy's kind of like he's scary. Like the
Yeah.
scene where
Well, he's
they're
just creepy.
exactly where they're monologuing to her like, "Oh, you figured it out. We're gonna kill you." Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Like that's a little. It's not like that's a scary like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so scared" scene, but it's like a dang, this is
Well,
intense.
okay, and then just since we're talking about him, one of my favorite things looking back, I immediately wanted to rewatch this movie after I finished it because I was like, now that I
Hmm
kind of know where it's going, I want to rewatch it. But one of my favorite parts about the movie after I had watched it, where I was like, oh, that makes a lot more sense now, is the scene where they're at school after the first murder and they're
hmm
talking and he's like and they're like, how would you even like do that to a body? And he's like, well, you would do this and then you would do this and
hmm
then the boyfriend, sorry, what are all their names? The boyfriend goes like, hey,
Billy,
like,
like the
yeah,
villain Billy. Yeah.
yes, yeah, and he's like, hey, like, don't like show some respect or whatever he says. And I
Yeah.
like and just like that relationship, and it's like, oh, okay, now that's making sense because they're partners and it's like
hmm
all kind of connecting. And so I thought that that was cool looking back. I've also
Yeah.
watched a lot of Criminal Minds, and I've watched a lot, listened to a lot of documentaries and podcasts about like crime and stuff like that.
hmm
And honestly, the relationship between the two of them in as like co-killers and like their whatever their motives and stuff and everything is so like on point with like how actual like
hmm
like
Psychopaths
co
are. Yeah.
psychopaths work, where it's like there's like a power dynamic and like it was just, yeah, just so good. I thought it
Speaking
was
of that,
awesome.
I've heard this before. Like I haven't like besides knowing who the killers are and the opening scene, I didn't really know too much about this movie, which I'm really sad I knew who the killers were because a lot of this movie is making you think literally everybody could be the killer at some point.
Totally, yeah,
Like it's so fun, and I can see why this movie became such a hit because literally every single person in the movie, you're like, oh, is that the killer? Like, is that
yeah,
the killer? And then not only the fact that obviously like one of them did it, but it's two characters who are the killers.
yeah,
Like that was crazy at the time. Like that was
yeah.
unprecedented at the time, to my knowledge, anyways. But um, that being said, I've heard people say like, "Oh, Stu is 100% in love with Billy." I completely agree.
Totally. There's some sort of infatuation there. That's part of
Uh,
what makes the whole like power dynamic between the partnership so interesting too, is that there's something weird going on there.
hmm Like I
um
think, or
there's a
I get,
deeper
yeah,
relationship there in some
exactly.
way.
hmm
Um do you think Stu or Billy are more is more scary? Like which one? Do you think the
They've
like more silent like under the radar Billy is
It's funny you say
scarier?
that because like what they do with Billy is so good because he does not really hide the fact that he is a murderer. Like he is so on the nose, creepy, and just like, dude, why are you asking about why she's not gonna do you after she just almost got murdered last night? Like, and bringing up her mom's death. Like, what are you doing, guy?
Yeah, dude, he's
Um,
crazy.
but that's what's so good about it is they convince the audience that he's the killer. Then the killer kills him, and then the audience is like, "What? Like that
Yeah.
was the guy though? Like he was the
Yeah.
killer." And then then they do like a double twist because oh, psych, he didn't actually get killed. He is actually the
Corn
killer with his
syrup.
friend. Yeah, like that
Yeah.
was so good. Um, and so I think I don't know because they work so well as a dynamic duo. Like Billy is so much more I think Billy is a much more like interesting villain, I guess, but
Yeah.
Stu is a much more entertaining villain.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. Well, and I think that like I don't know, it's so interesting because you're watching it and you're trying to like with Billy, I was since I knew kind of that he was going to be the killer, like
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "Oh, he's kind of playing it off weird. Like it's clearly him, but like is it because it's so clearly him it's not him?" Like,
Yeah,
you know what
which
I
they bring
mean?
up in the movie.
Which they
The
bring up
guy's
in
like,
the
he's the
movie.
red
It's a
herring. Like,
total
yeah.
like mind game where it's like, hey,
Mm-hmm.
like, am I the dumb one? Is he the dumb one? Anyways, but then Stu, I think is just so cool because it's like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, well, duh, it's him too
Yeah,
because he's psychotic.
yeah,
And weird. So I don't know. I think that for me, I think Billy's a little bit more scary because I think I would fall for that easier than Stu since he's you know what I mean? Like
yeah,
not like romantically. I mean romantically too. But like I think Billy is more scary because he's more convincing that I think he
yeah.
could convince you that he's not. Even though he
Exactly.
clearly is. Like
Yeah,
he could convince you that he's not. It's like the um anyways, I can't think of what I was going to reference. But with Stu, it's like he's a psychopath and he's weird and like I ain't falling for that, you know?
yeah.
So, anyways.
A couple cool things about Billy and Stu I learned just reading some of the facts about this movie is one, Matthew Lillard didn't even really like he didn't mean to audition for this movie. He was actually like they're at the same building that they're doing auditions for this movie with his girlfriend who was auditioning for like some other movie or commercial or whatever it was. And then
Mhm.
the casting director saw him in the hall and then came up to him and was like, "Oh, you should audition for this movie." And then that's how he
No
got the
way.
role.
That's sick.
And then a couple other things when you can have a lot of people and it was intended like this where after you know who it is not only can you go back and watch like try to pick up on all the hints of it's them two but also half the fun is oh who's in the Scream costume at what
Yeah.
point or who's in the Ghostface costume at what point. And one of the biggest hints, which I don't know why but I think this is just such a cool detail because they didn't need to do this but they decided it anyways, is every time Billy uses the Ghostface costume, his signature is he stabs with one hand, with like his right hand, whereas Stu always stabs with both of his
Both
arms, like he
hands.
does like the both hand stab. So every time one of them does that, you can tell like, oh, that's Stu in the costume, or oh, that's Billy in the costume.
That's cool that they
Yeah.
like added that level of detail to it. Do you feel like no when you watched it knowing that there were two killers cuz I didn't know. But I did feel like I was like I wonder if there's like there at one point I can't remember what scene I was like, "Oh, was that two of them?" So
hmm
you knowing that there were two, did you notice that there were two? Does that make sense? Did that
Yeah.
question get phrased
No,
correctly?
I get it. I get it. I think I could definitely. There was definitely times where I was like, oh,
There
I
has to
know
be
that
two.
there's two of them. Like obviously, Stu is the one in the costume when they go to. How am I forgetting the main character's name? Go to Sydney's house. Like, oh, Stu's the
Yeah.
one chasing her around, but Billy's the one on the call, because how would he have been able to change out of the costume, run to the window in 0.5 seconds?
Yeah.
And I know at the beginning, apparently both of them are in the costume, and like when the killer
Yes.
says like, "Pick a door. If I'm not at that door, then you'll be able to escape." But he's saying that because one of them is on either door, so whatever
Yes.
door she would have picked, she would have died.
Yeah, it's like little
Um,
things like that.
exactly. But there's this one moment which was so cool, where in the conversation we were talking about earlier of when he's bringing up like, your mom's dead, like you should get over this and have sex with me or whatever. It's like, bro, why are you bringing this up right
It's
before they
like,
start talking
okay,
about that?
weird.
Yeah. She says like, I can't remember exactly what the line is, but she's talking to Billy, and Billy's like, "Oh, so you don't think it's me anymore?" Like, and then
Yeah.
he says like, "Who do you think it is?" And for like a split second, his eyes like flash up to Stu, like off
Uh,
screen,
yeah.
and because I knew it was both of them, I picked up on that,
You
and it
picked
was
it up.
so cool. Just like
Yeah.
it's very like blink and you'll miss it, but he's like, "Who do you think it is?" or whatever the line is, but you
Yeah.
see his eyes just like very quickly glance up at Stu,
Hmm.
which is
Yeah, I
really
wonder
cool.
how many things like that you would pick up on as you rewatch it.
Hmm.
Um, well, cool. Were there any other fun facts that you wanted to share with the class?
Yeah. Henry Winkler being in this movie. This isn't necessarily a fun fact. I didn't know he was in this movie. I knew
Who
pretty
is
much
that?
everybody
Is
else.
that the
The
cop?
principal. The
The
principal.
principal. What is
He's
the cop in? The like Sydney's
David
friend's
Arquette.
brother? Yeah, what is he in?
I don't know. I was looking into it. He's not really in anything like, to
Big?
my knowledge, like, because I was like, I recognize this guy. What
I
else is
totally
he
recognize
in?
him too. And you
And
can't remember what
this,
else he was in?
there really wasn't anything big. Like, I was going through
Hmm.
his IMDb last night, and I was like, how
He
do I
just
know this
has one of
guy?
those faces.
I also was thinking that with Billy, with Skeet Ulrich is the actor's name. I was like, how do I know this guy? But he's not in really anything I've seen. I think it's a combination of one, just the Instagram clips I've seen of this movie, and
He's in
two,
Riverdale.
oh, he's in The cop is in Riverdale.
No, no, no.
David Arquette or Skeet.
Skeet.
What's his name?
He's
Yeah,
yeah, he plays Jughead's dad in Riverdale.
that's actually perfect casting.
I know,
But
right?
um, what was I? Oh yeah, I think him and Jamie Campbell Bowers have striking resemblance to each other, specifically in this movie, and Stranger Things.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not in anything. I'm like, what the frick? Anyways, that's
But
great.
other fun facts: Drew Barrymore was originally supposed to be Sydney, but then it
I
was
read
her
this,
idea.
yeah.
It was her idea actually to be like, "What if I'm the girl who gets killed at the beginning?" Because then the
To like
audience the
throw
whole
people
time is going to
off.
be like, "Oh, anybody could die,"
Yeah.
which I think is just because she was the biggest actress at the time of making this
Yeah.
movie.
Huge. Yeah.
So one, I just thought one, that's just cool that you do that at the beginning of the movie, but two, that it was her idea in the first place to like be that character.
Yeah,
I think it's just
totally.
like, dang, because most actresses would be like, no, I want to be the main character, but she's like, nah, I'm gonna
Well,
do
and just the
this.
way that it like throws people off because it's like
Hmm.
the cold opening and it's Drew Barrymore and you're probably going to this movie thinking, "Oh, Drew
She's
Barrymore's
on
in
the
this movie."
poster.
She's
She's
on the
yeah,
poster. She's probably in a
yeah.
lot of the marketing like you're I'm sure there were people that showed up just because she was in it and then
Hmm.
she dies. Like that's so good. It's so good.
Which
Also,
arguably,
random. Oh,
oh,
wait, go
go
ahead.
ahead.
No, you.
Okay, arguably that was the smarter decision because
Totally.
the most famous part about this movie is the opening scene. Like
Totally, yeah.
not even close. Like for as famous as all the other actors got, for as famous as some of these other scenes are, the most famous scene is the opening scene. Like that is cemented in pop culture.
Yeah. No, so good.
Hmm.
And random that Courtney Cox is in this movie.
Yeah,
Had no
and
idea.
I'm pretty sure she was married to Cop Guy for a long time, like Courtney
To
Cox
David
Arquette.
Arquette?
Yeah,
Okay, period.
I'm pretty sure that, and they met on this set, but maybe she married some other Arquette, but I'm 90% sure it's this guy.
All right,
Just
cool.
reading stuff,
Fun
because that
facts.
scene where they like fall and land on top of each other and like kiss
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
first time, they like weren't able to get through that because they just kept laughing the whole time. It's like, oh, chemistry, and then
Ah,
I'm
tender.
pretty sure they got married and have a kid.
Cool.
They're divorced
Maybe
now,
that's
but
why I recognize him.
yeah.
Um, okay, well, anything else before we go into like some fun questions or anything?
Yes. What? Just another fact that I thought was really interesting is how this movie came out during Christmas. It was like during the Christmas season, and they did that on purpose
Really?
because they were like horror fans don't usually have that much to watch between like
Yeah.
Christmas to like February-ish, I guess. So they're like, let's throw in a movie for the horror fans. And the first weekend, it was like a dud. Nobody went and saw it. But
Yeah.
because it had such good word of mouth, it ended up like with each weekend, it got more and
Getting
more, like
bigger.
more and more people saw it. Similar to almost like a Sinners situation where Sinners
Yeah.
did really well still on its first weekend, but it just got bigger and bigger as it kept going. Same thing
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah, that's cool because kind of random timing for
Hmm.
the, you know, horror scene.
Which
But I feel like
that
it's
type of
somewhat
stuff,
more common now. I feel like you kind of
yeah,
get random horror movies. I feel like a lot of the times you get
exactly.
random horror movies for like Valentine's Day and you're like,
Hmm.
okay, random.
And I feel like this kind of box office thing too happens with horror movies really more than any other genre. Of like starts out not doing very well and then just word of mouth makes it bigger and bigger,
Yeah,
as we saw this year with Weapons and
with
Sinners.
Weapons and Sinners, yeah. Okay, one of my questions is okay, I feel like, I mean, maybe it's not a question, just a discussion topic,
Hmm.
but I feel like what makes this movie like so fun is the technology of it all. Like you could
Hmm.
not get away with something like this these days, right? Like it's like with all the ring cameras and like the fact that we have cell phones and can track who people are and like
Hmm.
caller ID and all that. I think like the whole landline situation so good. And just like all
Hmm.
the random calling and like the voice situation where they're like doing it through the thing. Anyways, do you feel like you could even make a movie that like gives this same vibe like has that
Hmm.
feeling to it?
I
How
mean,
would you even do that? Like,
they've been
is it
trying.
just the fact that it was made at the perfect time?
I think. I mean, they made Scream 5 and 6 recently. Seven's on the way, but they are they're like I didn't even really think about it until you brought it up. How important to this movie the technology is, like the phone landline thing.
Yeah.
It's similar to like very different movies, but it's similar to something like Home Alone, where it's like you can't
Yeah.
make Home Alone now because that just
No, for
wouldn't happen.
sure. Yeah. No,
Um,
and I think that that's what's so cool about like some of
mhm.
those movies from the 90s um where it's like technology is being introduced, but it's not like
Mhm.
where it is now to the point, but like it's used in a way that is cool and good. Whereas like
Mhm.
I feel like when you do it now, it could come off super cheesy to like try to
Yeah,
come up with a way to make it work with phones or whatever now.
yeah. Well, Scream. It's interesting because Scream, which we'll talk about, I'm sure here soon, but is a movie that is influenced by thousands, or not thousands, but
For
like the
sure.
huge horror movies
Tons of
before.
other.
Like
Yeah.
it's like a love letter to horror movies.
Hmm.
Very obviously so. Like it's not hiding that fact. That's part of this plot and
No,
the
literally the
story.
Freddy Krueger
Yeah,
janitor that's like
yeah.
dressed as. I was like,
Sorry,
okay.
Fred. Yeah, that's such a funny moment. But which the guy who's dressed as Freddy is actually the director of the movie. But
Oh, I didn't even know that.
um,
He's got all the
yes,
fun facts. Only seen this movie once, guys.
I was up for like an hour afterwards just reading because I just loved it so much. But um, it's funny because this movie was inspired by so much horror, and it has now inspired so many
So
other horror
much.
movies,
Yeah.
for better or worse. Because I think there is a lot of horror movies that have tried to do this whole technology angle to some degree. Again,
Yeah.
not that technology is like the main focus, but it's a huge part of the plot of like the landline thing, and that's the mystery of who's calling, that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
Movies have tried to do that, like Unfriended from a couple years ago, that kind of stuff,
Mhm.
have not succeeded. Get Out was inspired by Scream, according to our
To our
producer
producer
Jackson.
Jackson. Hey, we wouldn't know because we haven't seen it, but
Hmm.
Jackson's feeling very strongly that we need to watch it. I'm too scared personally.
You
Okay.
know whose
Well,
pick is next, though?
speaking it's Scarrett's, yeah, so I don't get much choice. Um One of the things kind of like what you were saying is that like it's since it's inspired by so many horror movies, it's kind of a love letter to horror movies, but it also like pokes fun at it. There's a lot of like cliches in it.
The Shrek
So
of horror movies.
it's the Shrek of horror movies. So what do you feel like they landed really well? Like what cliches do you think were like they made fun of the best, or kind of in that realm? Especially since it's more fresh on your mind.
Yeah. I think slasher movies, like, obviously, this is very, very much so. This is just Halloween in a different font. Like, it is inspired by a lot of other movies, but they do not hide that fact. The entire third act, the party is watching Halloween.
Yeah.
And just based on reading and stuff I was doing last night, people had kind of considered slasher movies to be like dead. And then this movie came out, which was kind of an homage to slasher movies. And then they rocketed back up, and so many slasher movies came out. Like I Know What You Did Last Summer. There's other ones I can't think of, but that was just the first one that came to mind. So I think slasher movies is probably the one they did the best because it pretty much saved the slasher genre.
Yeah. For sure. I think in horror movies in general, like there are so many. I mean, there's ways for people, for directors and for movies to build tension with camera work and such, where it's like, oh, like clearly you think something's gonna pop up right now because the music sounds like this and the camera work is making you feel eerie. And I think a lot of the times they do that on purpose, but there were some shots in it where it was like, oh my gosh, like something's gonna happen, and then it didn't, or then something funny would happen and you're like, oh, ha, got me.
Specifically with the music, because like
with
the music
was so
scary.
good.
Yeah, like
I remember
like it would just be a shot of like the school, and the
yes.
music is like
no.
all scary.
Oh my gosh,
it's
that's
like,
so
what?
funny that you said that, because when I was watching it with my cousins, and I was kind of laughing through it because it is kind of funny, but like the spooky music and just so intense. The first time it happens is like with a school bus, and we were making fun of it the whole movie. We were going, spooky school bus, and then it was the high school, and I was like, oh my gosh, guys, spooky high school, like be scared. It was so funny though, because I think that it's like supposed to,
that's
like
the point. Yeah.
That's the point, right? It's supposed to like, you're supposed to watch it and be like, why are they playing this intense music?
Yeah.
But the music was so good. I loved the music.
It was so good. Like it was and the opening scene when the parents get home and they're like looking for her daughter. Like the music was like, I was like, this is like unironically really good. Like I'm like, dang, this is so smacking. Sad. Yeah, this is so sad.
That's so funny. Were you surprised when the principal was killed?
Yeah. Especially because it's Henry Winkler. Like, that's the Fonz. You don't kill the Fonz. And he died.
I know. I was shocked. I was like, oh, okay. So he just out. Talk to me about what you were saying that you wanted to talk about when we were watching Weapons, when we were talking about Weapons. You were like, we're about, like, intentions. Like, is it better to know, like, with villains?
Yeah. Well, that was kind of a big debate when Kevin Williamson was... Is it Williamson? Am I saying that right? Yes. Kevin Williamson. When he was writing the script, that was a big debate of, do I want to give them an intention or do I want to not give them intentions?
Yeah, like what's their motive?
And, motivations. And he ended up settling on, after talking to a bunch of people in the studio and stuff like that, they settled on, we'll give Billy a motivation, we won't give Stu a motivation.
Yeah, so then you get the mix of both.
Like, why did you do... He's like, peer pressure or whatever.
Yeah.
But that whole scene is so good when Billy, like when they stab each other and
when
then
they're
Billy
stabbing each other.
More,
yeah.
And, it's so good. And it's such a cool, just how you see their dynamic and who's really in charge and stuff.
Yeah, totally.
But, like, honestly, I was thinking that Stu was going to kill Billy because he was just going to like piss him off too much and Stu was going to lash out and kill him. But
totally.
Anyways, I think, because like we were saying with Weapons, motivation it can either be a really interesting thing for a villain or it can be, because they don't have a motivation, it's almost more interesting.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, with this type of movie, I'm glad they gave Billy a motivation, because I was kind of, when she said like, why are you doing this? And he was like, oh, it's better when you don't know the killer's motivation. I was like, okay, come on, like I need to know why you killed her mom, dude. Like,
Yeah.
give it to me. Um, so in a movie like this, where it's like there's so much built upon like it's her boyfriend, he killed her
Yeah.
mom. Like you need to know why he did that to some
Yeah.
degree. Um, Whereas with Stu, you don't need to know because it's like, oh, he's insane, and he really
Yeah.
loves
Oh,
being
he's
insane.
insane and literally doesn't care. And
And it's not to say
was
that it's not to say those characters don't have depth because they really do. If
yeah.
not, oftentimes they have more
It's
depth
more,
than
yeah.
like look at Joker. We don't know why he does what he does, but he's probably one of the most like deep quote unquote villains ever in anything.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I think for since this movie is supposed to be very much like an homage to a lot of other movies, I really like that they gave one a motivation
Both, yeah.
and one not a motivation.
Yeah. No, I think that's a good point. That I mean, I don't even know that I even recognize that until we just talked about it. Like it's like, oh
Hmm.
yeah, one actually was like I think maybe because I laughed it off where it was like peer pressure and you're like, haha,
Hmm.
funny. But it's actually like, oh wait, no, he's psychotic and just wanted to do it for fun basically. Um okay, we kind of talked about the principal dying, but other than that one, was there a death that like shocked you
What
the
was the
most?
best death?
Yeah, what was the best one? Which one shocked you the most? I think the Drew Barrymore one was definitely the
It's
most
most
like
iconic.
intense, most
Yeah.
iconic, right? Um I think it wasn't like you know it's coming because again,
Mm.
iconic scene. Um I feel like yeah, what was the most shocking or the worst or whatever
Mm.
you think? Which death do you want to bring up?
Tatum's death, probably.
Dude, seriously.
Um,
Yeah.
I didn't think she was gonna die. Like once
I
she was
didn't
locked in the
either.
garage, I was like, okay, well, game
I was
over.
like, "Oh, she gone."
And there's a huge debate that I learned about within the Scream fandom of is it Stu in the costume or is it Billy in the costume at that point?
Yeah.
Because it makes more sense for it to kind of be Stu, but we just saw Stu in the other room.
Yeah.
But then he's a lot when Stu's in the costume, he's a lot more clumsy, and Ghostface is a lot more clumsy in that scene. So it's
Mhm.
like who's there? But so, anyways, besides that, just getting killed by the garage is crazy.
It's crazy work.
One, I don't think a garage is that powerful, but it's still
N-
crazy.
no, seriously. I mean, yeah. There's so that one I do think was pretty shocking because I think with the
Hmm.
principal it was like surprising that he died, but I think the like overall like how it was done and everything like that one was
Hmm.
crazy.
Because
I
like
was
it's
yeah,
also
go
she's
ahead.
the best friend's like she's the best friend's
Yeah.
or the main character's best friend. Her brother is the cop. Like she's not gonna die, and then
Yeah,
she
like she's
died.
safe. No worries.
Hmm.
I was glad at the end that Deputy Dewey, the cop, that he
Dewey's
was
I
I
love Dewey.
he was
Dewey's
so
awesome.
pure. He's just the best.
Well, that's another situation of a Steve Harrington situation where originally he did die, but then
Yeah.
the director loved the just David Arquette's performance so much,
They're
and
like, we can't kill him off.
he filmed two versions, one where Dewey did die, and the other where he's getting like carted away into the ambulance and survives.
Yeah.
And test audiences just loved him so much
They're
so
like, we
that they
can't
decided
let
to
him
do that,
die.
which
Well,
is
and
funny
there's so
because
many people that do die, so it's like at least
exactly.
let somebody win.
And Dewey was originally he was supposed to be like a jock character, like he's supposed to be big, like leading man, ripped guy.
Yeah,
But then they
like
made him like
past
clumsy,
football
lovable dude.
quarterback. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's just so lovable and goofy, and he's like, "I'm the deputy of this town," and it's
Yeah.
just I love that guy. And it became like a cliche moving forward that in every other movie he almost dies but then doesn't die.
That's
Except in
funny.
Scream 5, he actually does die. Spoilers, but
Oh, poor
yeah.
guy. See
He
you,
goes out
Dewey.
with a bang, though, in a heroic fashion.
Spoiler alert.
Hmm.
Well, cool. Do you have any fun questions? Anything else you're like dying to talk about with this movie? I just want to throw it out there that I just loved it. Like,
Hmm.
I think when it comes to scary movies, this is just the kind of scary movie I'm looking for. Like, I like a couple jump scares. I like a fun story. Like, it was just great.
Hmm. Did that last jump scare get you?
Which one?
Right before the credits go? So it like fades out, cuts to black, and then there's like a bah, like ghost face, like just flashes, appears, and then the credits roll.
Considering I don't remember that happening, I guess not.
It was really funny. It didn't get me, but I was like, because that was it's 100% intentionally supposed to be like, oh, we gotcha, and then the credits roll right after, and
Yeah.
it was just very
I
funny.
think I like briefly remember seeing it, but like it definitely didn't get me. Like I probably
Mhm,
laughed at it again, but I think I was just so like, oh my gosh, that was crazy.
mhm.
After that, wasn't even. But yeah,
Did you? Was there anybody that died that you wish didn't die, or somebody who didn't die that you wish died?
good question. Honestly, I think other than Tatum, like I don't know that Tatum really needed to die.
Yeah,
Like,
I kind of didn't like her very much though.
yeah, that's true.
Like it's
I
not that
don't
she was
know.
like,
I feel like every single part of it was just like how it was supposed to be. I don't
yeah.
know. That sounds weird. But
I was very scared Randy was gonna die. Then he got shot, and I was like, dang it, I liked Randy. He was goofy and funny. But then he
yeah.
survives at the end, which was nice.
Yeah. Wait, remind me who Randy is.
He's the guy who works at the video store and has a crush on Sydney
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
stuff.
Okay, yeah.
Mm.
The cameraman maybe. I'm like
But yeah,
I think
that one sucked. That was so
that
sad.
one was so sad. Like there's just what there were a couple times where I was like, "Oh, was that necessary?" But then like I think the reason why I'm like I'm not sure that anybody didn't like need to die because every single death plays a part in actually what leads to the next part. Does
Hmm.
that make sense? Which is what I
Yeah.
appreciate too is that it's like yeah, they kind of had to die so that that would happen.
Hmm.
You know?
The It's funny because the only one that was kind of added in later was the principal's death because they were kind of like there's a solid like 30, 40 minutes where nobody dies. Like
They're like
we
we
need to
need
give them
to
something.
remind people. Yeah.
And so the writer changed it so that the principal died, but then that ended up being better because he was like, "Oh, that gives a reason for the people at the party to leave, so it's just the main characters now."
Yeah.
Um, Also, before we end, I do want to shout out Courtney Cox's character. What's her name? We need to get better with remembering character names. Oh my goodness! But Gail,
Well, to be fair, we have been talking about movies for like an hour and a half, so
yeah. But
yeah,
I
Gail.
loved Gail
What was her last name? Weathers.
Weathers.
Yeah, Gail
She was.
Weathers.
I love me a character who's like a jerk, but then kind of not a jerk at the same time. Like
Yeah,
she saves the day at the end.
yeah.
Um, and
She's
she was awesome.
when I watched it with my cousins, they're like, "We hate her," and I was like, "Why do you guys hate her?" Like, I felt like she was a pretty vital character. Like,
Hmm.
I liked her. I think like what you were saying. Like, I like the fact that she, um, is kind of unlikable. Like, you're not supposed to like her.
Hmm.
But and she kind of just cares about herself and her own
Hmm.
gain, but then like saves the day, so that's
Yeah.
cool. I thought she was
And
good. I thought it was cool to see Courtney Cox doing something different that I like
exactly.
had no idea that yeah,
That was
she was
she
in it.
really really wanted the part. Like she was pushing for it a lot because she wanted to show people that she because on Friends she's like nice girl Monica. She
Mhm.
wanted to show people that she can be like a mean girl.
And she does a
And
great job.
the studio originally was like, no, we don't want you. You're Monica from Friends. But then she ended up getting it after like auditioning a few times, and the rest is history because she's a lot of people's favorite character.
Yeah, I liked her a lot. I also thought Sydney was good. Like I thought that she was a good main character, like
Hmm.
played it really well, so shout out to her. But yeah,
Hmm.
great movie. I had a great time. Anything else, Garrett? Any other fun facts, questions?
Just last topic: the critics
Oh,
Rotten
yes.
Tomato score. Critics, and keep in mind this is the Rotten Tomato score are from at the time, to my knowledge. So critics gave it a 78, audiences gave it an 80. I think it's a
Letterboxd.
little
Okay.
low. Letterbox gave it a 4 out of 5. I think
Okay.
this movie over time, even though it's not that it doesn't get enough love, it gets a huge amount of love, but it's become a cult classic. We're
Mhm.
not even a cult classic, it's just a classic.
Yeah.
Like, and I think like even critics who reviewed it now, if they reviewed it again and were to post their reviews, it'd probably be
A lot
higher.
higher. Yeah.
Yeah.
I also think the fact that it draws a lot of like inspiration for movies now, it's like, oh yeah, like that's where it came from, you know?
Hmm.
But yeah, I think critics score maybe could be a little bit higher. So maybe they got it a little wrong, but I think yeah, if we were to do it again, the scores might get a little bit boosted. Audience score being 80% makes sense to me, I feel like.
Yeah.
And I'm honestly surprised that Letterboxd is 4 out of 5. I feel like well, maybe not. Maybe I'm not surprised, but I feel like
Well, I think that shows you more like the modern take on this
the
movie,
modern take
especially
on it, yeah.
if you look at the like graph of reviews, it's either like majority
4 or
are 5 out
5.
of 5 or
Yeah.
4 out of 5.
Yeah. Which I think is awesome. So,
Hmm.
what a fun movie. I'm glad I picked that one. I enjoyed it. Oh, my score. Popcorn bucket, extra large, extra butter.
Let's go. I think for me, I'll give it a large bucket. I'll give it an extra large bucket. I think it's become as influential as it has for a reason, and probably with butter. I don't know if this is where our system is hard because yeah, not all
I
movies
think
are
I could
created
call
equal.
this my favorite horror movie.
I need to watch it again and kind of sit with it. Whereas I think after watching Weapons, I was like, yeah, that was one of my favorite horror movies. This movie, I was like,
Couldn't be
that was
me.
freaking good, but I need to sit with it a little bit more. I think it has potential too, but
Needs to
so right
sit.
now I'll give it just with butter, not a little bit of butter, like normal amount of butter, maybe a little bit extra, but not full, like swimming in butter extra.
Okay, okay.
But I think it has over time. We do this one in another year, revisit in a little while. It might be extra butter. So as of
Perfect.
now, extra large bucket with butter.
Perfect. I love it.
Hmm.
What a great time, you guys. It's been a wild ride. Garrett, what are we watching next?
I know word on the street is Get Out is what I'm gonna pick, but I'll be nice because I want to
Thank
watch
you.
this movie. Honestly, like I've been embarrassed to say it's one of my favorite Halloween movies for a long time of my life, but I'm committing. One of my favorite Halloween movies. I want to watch Hocus Pocus.
Okay. Period.
I really like that movie, and I'm tired of pretending I
Not
don't. Yeah.
expecting that at all.
Uh-huh.
But I'm very happy we're watching that instead of Get Out. I have seen Hocus Pocus one time, and my only thought when I watched it was, I wish I had seen this sooner because I think I would like it more now. So maybe now that I've seen it, I'll like it more.
Yeah, and Natalie, just to say, we are not off the hook. We will watch Get Out one day because it's not a Halloween
I
specific
know.
movie. That's
I
why I'm
know.
picking it over. That's why I'm picking Hocus Pocus because
Because
that's a
Hocus
Halloween
Pocus is
movie.
Halloween specific.
But we'll throw in Get Out and like a random like March. So just you wait.
Oh my gosh. Me getting anxiety every time Garrett picks a movie from now on.
All right, so
I feel like I've heard that movie messes with you. So, okay.
Get Out.
But, yeah.
It does, from what I know.
Okay. Okay.
But
well,
anyways.
I'm excited for Hocus Pocus. We'll get one more Halloween episode before we start moving to the holidays.
Woo.
And I don't know. Are we watching holiday movies in November? I think we should.
We should start. Like, not that it necessarily has to be a holiday movie, but
I
might
think
as
we
well.
should. Because the
Get
more
the Santa
Christmas, the
Clauses
better.
in.
Yes. Okay, love it. Happy Halloween,
All right.
everybody, for next episode. Glad you joined us.
What we watch
And we
spooky
will-
season is not over yet.
Watch more spooky movies for us in our honor because Natalie won't be watching them. And we love you guys.
See you soon.
See ya.